third competition in European competition. How do you now view it after a few weeks, maybe getting yourself acquainted with it? And is it something you can win?
Yeah, absolutely. I think after the Napoli game, Jason, when I was asked, I genuinely hadn't given it any thought whatsoever, because your mindset is always to finish in the Europa League at the highest position and qualify for the next rounds of that. So it wasn't until after the game we realised that we were in this competition. But listen, like most of us, I certainly grew up being aware of 3 European competitions. When I think of the European Cup and UEFA Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup, and that's the competitions that I grew up in. And now that we're in this competition, of course we want to win it, and we'll give everything we can to do that. So we're looking forward to the challenge of it now, and looking to embrace it.
We heard a little bit from Wilfred and Didi a little bit earlier, says the players need to work harder and concentrate better for set pieces and conceding those late goals. Now, you may have seen Ralph Rangnick speaking recently about Manchester United. They've got a similar problem, apart from last night, conceding those late goals in games, suggesting it's an issue with their mentality and players' mindset. Now, do you think it's a similar problem at Leicester?
No, listen, for me, defending set pieces is straightforward in terms of it's about organisation and it's about desire and will to head the ball. It's as simple as that. And I think that you go through cycles, of defending them really well, and then something happens and it doesn't quite work, and then you're changing it. And I think that for us, there probably is a little bit of anxiety around it. But you think we were playing against West Ham, I think you'd scored the most set pieces in the league. We defended them really, really well. And then right at the very, very end, we got undone with arguably a goal that shouldn't have counted. But it did count, and of course it then puts probably a negative feel on what was a really, really good performance, where we deserved to win the game. So yeah, it's about that real ruthlessness to get the first contact, and that will to defend it, and that's something that, like I said, for a good part of the time in the first 18 months, it wasn't a problem, but it now is a problem for us. But there's lots of work going on, as you've seen, in terms of organisation, in terms of being zonal and then going man to man. But really, you've got to stay concentrated right to the very end, and then hopefully, as I said, that ruthlessness will return to our game.
In terms of this competition, do you think this is your best opportunity to get into the Europa League, into European competition this season?
No, I think that the challenge, obviously, we can finish in the top 7. We have an opportunity to still do that. So we want to finish the league as high as we possibly can, and if we show the levels that we of the second half and the latter part of the first half at the weekend, then with returning players, I believe that we can have a really positive end to the season in terms of the league. And of course, in this competition, you're in it to try and win it. That's the idea. So and whichever one of those two brings European football, that has always been our aim at the beginning of each season, to be in Europe.
My Danish isn't possibly what it could be, but so forgive me for the pronunciation. But what have you made of Randers, the team that's visiting you this weekend? Sorry, tomorrow.
Yeah, well, a team that done extremely well to get into the competition. You think in their history they've won the domestic competition twice, and obviously back in 2021, which has enabled them to be in the European competition. So yeah, they play 4-4-2. The very honest team. They've got quality at the front end of the field. The wingers come inside and try to have the overloads on the inside. So yeah, it's a game that you have to be at your best in a European competition to go through. So it's the first leg at home. We want to again continue with the really positive elements of our game in the second half. Continue with that and see if we can take a lead over to Denmark next week.